Some of the key benefits of the conference are primarily around knowledge sharing, learning about some of the new innovations and strategic direction of the industry, as well as it's an excellent opportunity for networking among both the speakers and the participants. We open with a geopolitical overview of what's going on around the world, both risks and opportunities from an investment and doing business point of view, everything from what's going on in the Ukraine and Europe through to economic growth opportunities in China. We also heard about the direction towards building more sustainability strategy into business models, and also the financial performance of the industry, both how it's been performing through the recovery since the recession and the outlook for the near term.
Well, the operating environment in Russia is most likely going to deteriorate over the next year or two. The geopolitical crisis in Ukraine does not have a clear pathway for resolution. The question is, how deep and aggressive are you going to have a tit-for-tat scenario between the Kremlin and Western powers? And given that we're probably headed towards an escalation of sanctions at a level 3 sanctions, what this means is that Western companies operating in Russia will most assuredly be at risk of retaliation from the Kremlin to punitive measures taken by the United States and the European Union. American companies are probably going to be more at risk than other Western companies, but the operating environment is not conducive towards a stable operating, the rules of the game for foreign direct investments.
The key takeaways from the conference, I think, have been first and foremost Minister Thompson's comments. Around the world, regulation is a big issue for our customers. It drives their cost, it drives complexity, it just creates uncertainty. And what I heard him say was British Columbia is all about being competitive from a regulatory standpoint. And those are obviously, for a businessman, that's important. If I'm a customer in British Columbia, I think that bodes well for the future when you have a government that's focused on being competitive in all aspects. I was struck by the growing diversity of markets that the Canadian government's focused on serving, the recent free trade agreement with South Korea, some of the other things they're thinking about doing with India and other markets, so they're not standing pat. I think too many people have the mistaken impression that China or India is all about low labor costs. There certainly is a segment of industry that chases that, but I think for high technology products or high value products, capital assets like what Caterpillar produces, we're after quality, no matter what market we're producing in. Cost is a constant challenge across Asia, with labor costs rising 15 to 20% a year. You have to be focused on efficiency and innovation. If you're not, you're quickly going to lose your competitiveness. It's again back to that diversity issue that when you have folks from different backgrounds and they look at things differently, you get different opinions, different views, and ultimately you get better solutions. And I can think of issues, whether it was about product, whether it was about a new facility launch, whether it was about processes. What we're finding more and more is that we're having as many ideas come from Asia as come from the Americas, and I think that's a good thing. It makes our business better.
WBCSD, we've done a lot of work over the years around natural capital valuation, the carbon standards about measurement and accounting. And now the opportunity is to try and harmonise or create a more standardised framework so that it's, you don't have 20 different approaches, you have a half a dozen credible approaches. And I mean, that's what investors are looking for, is a standard, consistent approach to how companies are measuring and valuing and then responding to the data that comes through. WBCSD companies can join our group or a part of our group to try and get that business perspective and to come up with rules that really make business a much bigger part of the solution than just being seen as part of the problem.